Hey everyone, Crisis in the Toyverse here. On today's show, we're looking at the Mezco 112 Collective Darkseid. As you can see, Darkseid comes in this deluxe packaging, this metal tin. As I flip it around to the back, you can see all the fun stuff that he comes with. This guy's made out of polystone. He's got a cape, alternate heads, alternate hands, a mother box, and so much more. So let's go ahead and break him down. Alright guys, here is Darkseid out of his collective tin. He definitely has a presence to him, I will say that. I really do like the head sculpt here. It actually looks really good. The detail on the back portion of the head mixed in with the head at the front came out really good. Some people think it's a little soft. I can understand that. A little darkening for the cracks and stuff would have been nice, but it's not a deal breaker for me. And that's just me. As we look at the back here, his belt has some nice detail on the back. That's made out of metal. It's a magnet, actually. And then the cloth goods look good on him. Very Kirby-esque, if you will. So that's always a plus. But as far as the figure itself, it has a lot of weight to it. It feels solid. And I just can't get over that head sculpt. Darkseid is in my hands, and I think that's what makes this exciting. It's not a figure I was ever wanting from Mezco, but the fact that they did it just makes it that much better. He is hefty at the $180 price point, but I don't feel jilted by what I have, and that's just me. As you can see right here, we have polystone in the arms, and those came out good. A nice little wash going on there. The gauntlets have a nice level of detail on them as well, and that's very cool, and that extends down to the glove. Now, in the body of the figure itself, I believe that is polystone too. If you lift up the skirt and whatnot, you can see the detail a lot more. But you go down to the legs, you got some polystone there, and then you got some really nice detail for the boots. So, very satisfying for me. Once again, it may not be for everyone, but for what I want it to be, it works. So, let's go ahead and break down articulation and go from there. Alright, let's talk Darkseid's head. Head looks up, and then you can bring it back down. And then, as you can see, if we move it up and around, it pivots to the side, no questions. And it spins 360 Exorcist style. Now, as far as the neck portion goes, pretty much same range of movement there. You're going to have no problems putting the big guy into different head poses, which is very nice for this figure. Now, in terms of the torso with Darkseid, like I said, the figure is polystone right there, so just keep an eye out on that. But he does go back somewhat. He actually leans forward a little more. There's no actual ab crunch or anything. It's just connected at the waist like a ball peg, so it can move around and twist side to side. The cloth doesn't really hinder anything in that regard based on the limited articulation that is there. Now, in terms of the arms, keep in mind, once again, this is polystone, but it doesn't feel brittle. That doesn't mean do anything crazy with it, but the arm can go up quite a bit, and you can take it back down, and you can bring it all the way around. Just keep in mind with that piece there, you don't want it to scrape and chip away something, because after all, this is a $180 figure. Now, in terms of the elbow, it is just a swivel and a bend, so you don't get that big of a range, but I don't know how they could have fixed this. I don't know how they could have crafted a double jointed polystone. I don't know how that would have worked. But if you fidget it around, you can get it to go around to his back, which is pretty cool because you want Darkseid to have that look. In terms of the hand, it is on the ball peg that swivels and rotates, and there's no issues there. So definitely a fan of that. Let's go ahead now and break down the lower body. Alright, let's talk lower body articulation. Now, I went ahead and lifted the skirt up. I don't know with my camera settings if you can see, but I just wanted to show that you can lift it up, and in there is polystone body. Like, it's not like they skimped on the polystone there. But as you can see, he's got the weird leg ball joints. So, he does kick up about that far. He can actually go side to side pretty far too. I forgot to show that on camera, but it does kick back as well. And then you do have the rotation there. A nice bend at the knee there. I mean, they did pay attention to the details, so I don't hate it. Now I bring this back up, and then as you look at the foot, it doesn't really go down or up too far, but you do get some rocking side to side, so it's not all bad news. And then you got those nice treads on the bottom with the peg hole. So let's go ahead and break down accessories and go from there. Alright, let's talk about the light up feature with Darkseid to kick things off, and the alternate faceplates. The first thing you're going to want to do is push down on the head and then pull it up to reveal that Darkseid is actually a robot. I'm kidding, of course, but you can see how that mechanism works, and Mezco does include detailed instructions on this. At the bottom there is a light switch. You turn it on and pop it back in. You see those eyes growing bright, and then you pop in the faceplate, and voila, you got some glowing action. So let's go ahead and review all the faceplates and take it from there. Alright, and here is the Omega effect plate itself. This came out really good. It's got some nice detail on it. The Omega beams are nice, firm, and sturdy. Now, what I went ahead and done is put the faceplate on. Now I'm turning off the light. It glows, but not as much as I would like, which is a bit disappointing. We've seen this with some of the other light up features. I don't think Mezco has tackled this quite yet, but at least there's something there to start off with and that you can go from. Alright, here is the battle damage head sculpt. This one's actually a personal favorite of mine. I just love the beat up look of it. Now, I went ahead and plugged it in, and as you can see, I'm turning off the light. My camera's really not picking it up, but when you hold it in hand and you look at it up close, you can see the lines. I wish the camera did pick this up. Maybe I got a crappy camera, I don't know, but this one is very cool. And the last head I have here is one of a smirking Darkseid. He's got a cool collective smile on him, like he's planning and plotting the next thing to do to Superman and the Justice League. And with the eyes lit up on it, it's a nice subtle little difference from all the other faceplates. So very cool indeed. Alright, let's talk hands. We have a mother box hand, we have two open gripping hands, and then we have the two fists. Some people wish they had a little more hands. It would be cool, obviously, but I'm not complaining. As for the base, we got it with the Omega symbol on it, and then we have the flight stand. The figure does not hold the flight stand because of the polystone material, and there is no 112 goodie bag, but I guess that's okay because it comes in that nice collector tin. Now, I almost forgot to talk about the cape here. The cape is done very nice. It has a nice feel and look. Will I be displaying Darkseid like this? More than likely not, but the cape is done very well. It has a nice felt-like material with some printing for the blues that make it stand out, and it drapes over him really well, and the shoulder pads are die-cast metal. So, enough accessories here. I know some people want a little more, but what I've been presented with, I enjoy. Let's do the size roundup and go from there. Alright, for our first size comparison, the only other Darkseid I have in my collection as of today is that giant DC Icons one. As you can see, he towers over Darkseid. But I do like my Darkseid a little smaller, so this kind of works out. Now here he is with the DC Essential Superman, and the scale between these two actually works out really nice, I have to say. Nothing to really complain about here. And here is the Essential and Mezco Superman. As you can see, there is some height difference between the Essential and regular Superman as it relates to Darkseid. Personally, like I said, the Essential fits a little better, but you're not going to have any problems with the Mezco Superman knocking the crap out of Darkseid. However, I think personally the Red Sun Superman actually looks a bit more posing next to Darkseid than the regular Mezco release. But then again, I really love the look of that figure and how Mezco did a wonderful job with that. So that is my personal opinion. As it relates to Batman and Darkseid, I put in the Dark Knight Returns PX exclusive and the Ascending Knight PX exclusive blues to go in with the blue Darkseid here. So as you can see, Batman kind of stands the same until you get to the Dark Knight Returns. Overall, when it comes to Darkseid, it's all going to depend on A, if you can afford the figure, and B, how much of a Darkseid fan you want. That $180 price tag, is not cheap. But if you can afford it, it's worth picking up. Now, there are other amazing Darkseids coming out, and there are already quite a few on the market that are really good. This figure is not meant for everyone, so it's kind of a personal choice there, but I do love it. I'm happy it's in my collection. The use of polystone is really cool. I hear the argument. They could have just done it in plastic and would have been cool, but Mezco decided to kick it up a notch like Emerald to come up with their own design. So there is that. Guys, I want to thank everyone for stopping by and watching the channel. If you get some free time, head over to undercovercapes.com and check out extreme-sets.com. I have a full slideshow at the end. Take care, everyone, and until next time, great googly moogly.